everyone, and welcome to Babies with Knives. This is Crash Course Corner, where we teach you the basics of how to play a game system. I'm Alice Peng, aka Lala Twiddle on the boards.
And I'm Brandon Powers. Today is part 2 of our series on Star Trek Adventures, where we will be taking a look at characters. In part 1, we discussed the basic mechanics of Star Trek, and there is a link to that video below.
In Star Trek Adventures, the player characters take on the roles of the senior staff of a Federation starship. These roles include Commanding Officer, Executive Officer, Operations Manager, Chief Engineer, Chief Security Officer, Medical Officer, Science Officer, Flight Controller, Ship's Counselor, and Communications Officer.
Each role provides the character with an ability unique to that role, such as the Security Officer's Security Detachment, or the Commanding Officer's ability to give determination to other characters. Separate from the role that a character has on the ship, each character will have a rank from ensign to captain.
Like scenes, characters have traits that help describe who they are. Every character has at least one trait from their species and can have other traits based on important aspects.
Commander Sisko at the beginning of Deep Space Nine might have human and survivor of Wolf 359 as his two traits. These two traits can apply in a positive, negative, or neutral way to anything that Commander Sisko does.
For example, when dealing with Elasians, a doctor might gain a negative modifier from the species trait due to unique physiology.
Beyond the species traits, character accumulation of traits is left primarily in the purview of the playgroup rather than being codified.
Star Trek characters are defined by their innate ability in 6 attributes that focus on a character's approach. For humanoids, attributes range from 7 to 12, with higher numbers being better.
Control deals with characters exerting fine control, covering precision, accuracy, and self-discipline. It can be used for doing delicate work, precise timing, detailed instructions, and more.
Daring is used for characters taking definitive action without hesitation, relying on gut instinct rather than careful planning. Daring is used during emergencies, attacking, and avoiding danger.
Fitness covers a character's overall physicality, including health, endurance, and might. Fitness modifies roles when primarily using force, endurance, or ignoring physical injuries.
Insight handles a character's understanding of others and themselves. Insight is used to understand others' feelings and intentions, acting with empathy, using past experiences, and overcoming a character's own preconceptions.
Presence is a character's force of personality and personal magnetism. It commands attention, wins arguments, and allows characters to put their chosen foot forward.
Finally, reason is concerned with facts, data analysis, and logic. Characters use reason for studying strange phenomena and complex calculations and changing people's thoughts with using logic. While attributes are a character's raw capabilities, disciplines are the training in specific subjects that the character has received. Disciplines range from 0 to 5, but all main characters have at least 1 in each discipline.
The 6 disciplines represent the different departments aboard Federation vessels, each being used when acting in a capacity most appropriate to that department.
Command handles interpersonal relationships like leading troops, rallying support, and helping people accomplish tasks.
Con covers piloting and navigation, but is also used for knowledge of spaceships, starship protocol, and working in environmental suits.
Engineering is focused on technology, whether fixing, maintaining, or making tech. It is also used when trying to learn about new tech or explain how that technology works to others.
Security handles the use of force and can be paired with any of the attributes depending on the type of force. Beyond phaser fire and Kirk slaps, security is used for threat analysis, questioning suspects, and understanding a battlefield. Last, security is used to determine how much damage a character does with their attacks, adding challenge dice based on the weapon to this score.
Science is the discipline for both hard sciences and the social sciences. Characters use sciences for experiments, gather data, and forming a working hypothesis.
Medicine is the last discipline, and it deals with handling both body and mind of life forms. Medicine tasks include surgeries, diagnosis, and discussing medical matters.
While disciplines handle broad areas of training, focuses are categories of specialization not directly tied to a discipline or attribute, but usable anytime the subject of the focus is important to a task.
When a character attempts a task that a focus affects, The character generates 2 successes whenever a d20 rolls the discipline value or under, instead of just when the d20 rolls a 1. Characters can only benefit from a single focus during a roll.
Note that starting characters begin the game with 6 foci. In addition to foci, talents provide a method for differentiating a character's specialties. Talents provide characters with new abilities or bonuses in specific situations.
The bonuses from talents can come in the form of reduced difficulty, bonus d20s, extra benefit from momentum, or a number of other benefits.
These talents help to make a character a starship expert that can easily identify weaknesses in a ship because of their knowledge, distinct from one that excels at piloting under adverse conditions.
Note that starting characters begin the game with 4 talents.
Characters' attributes, disciplines, and foci show what a character can accomplish, but they have very little to do with who they are as a person. Adventures uses values as short statements of attitudes, convictions, and relationships to demonstrate who the character is. Beginning characters should have at least 4 values.
When a character is performing a task that uses one of their values, they can spend a point of determination to gain a bonus. This added benefit can take the form in an extra d20 that has already rolled a 1, allow a re-rolling of a die, or provide an additional action, or creating an advantage.
Characters begin play with 1 determination, and they can have up to 3 determination at one time.
Characters gain extra determination when their values are used against them in a negative fashion. Anyone can suggest a way that a value can be used against a character, but the game master chooses when he wishes to offer a character a point of determination in exchange for a complication or other drawback.
When characters are presented with situations that force them to rethink some of their values, they can remove that value from their character sheet in exchange for a point of determination. Stress is a character's ability to take damage and hardship during the course of an adventure and keep functioning.
When attacked, characters will mark stress off temporarily based on the damage that was done. Characters that take too much stress become injured and possibly can die from those injuries.
The amount of stress a character has is determined by totaling their fitness and security scores. Since Star Trek Adventure characters work within the framework of the Federation as Starfleet officers, they gain and lose reputation based on their actions through that lens.
Characters begin with a default of 10 reputation, signifying that they are in good standing with Starfleet and have a satisfactory record. The actions that they take during game can modify their reputation up or down depending on how prone to violence they are, if they follow orders, and if their actions save or improve lives.
Characters who are frequently disciplined will have a low reputation and might end up drummed out of Starfleet, while characters who act within the guidelines of Starfleet are given more and more leeway on how they accomplish their missions due to the trust that Starfleet has within them. In addition to main characters and NPCs, there are supporting characters. Supporting characters are the other members of the crew, and at the start of a scene, players may choose whether they are in control of their main character or play a supporting character. This allows a player to stay involved in the action while their character might not be suited for the away mission, stuck in the sickbay, or otherwise occupied with another dimension of the mission.
Supporting characters do not belong to a specific player, but can be played by any of the players at the table. Supporting characters are not as advanced as the main characters, but they advance during the game, becoming more and more fleshed out the more times that they appear.
With this crash course, you should have all the tools you'll need for your characters to boldly go where no man has gone before. If you are interested in more, the Babies with Knives have a Star Trek system crash course, and keep your eyes out for a character creation demo and Star Trek actual play.
If you enjoyed our Star Trek Adventures character crash course and are ready to seek out new role-playing games and new possibilities, please click the subscribe button below to get updates about our future videos. And if you have any questions or comments, you can find us on Facebook and Discord. Links to both provided below. Thank you for joining Babies with Knives. Come back next time to get honed.